Okay,
Hmm.
we are live and we're ready to go. Looks like we've got Albion Patriotic, we've got Mia Agricultural, and Ruspian Engineering. So who starts, Derp?
That would be Logan. The order is in the colors in the top right, top to.
Okay, great.
I thought I was second. No?
You won your last. You have 5 points, right?
Yeah, but I thought it was. Rail told me it was by the number of coins.
Really?
That's correct.
It is number coin.
Yeah, I can
That is what
confirm.
David told me.
You guys are tied then.
If they're tied, it should probably go to least points.
Okay, so I'm second then. Like, because Rail put it in that order. I think he already set up the order when he pasted the message.
Right. That's what I thought.
So I should be second.
Oh, whoops, hold on. There.
So who starts?
Logan still starts.
All right.
Okay, so I choose the combo we're bidding on. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
And you do an initial.
All right.
And it can be 0, by the way.
Okay. And then, sorry, when I bid, if it goes around, I have the opportunity to up my bid.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll do a 0 for Albion.
Type it too in chat.
Okay.
So then it's for it's to Germany.
Interesting stuff.
The man likes his Albion.
Albion fan, I like it.
It's yours.
All right. I'm already green. Had to happen.
Yeah, that just makes sense.
All right, Jeremy.
Nah. Let's go.
Okay.
Free Crimea.
Wow, what is happening?
Can somebody seat me at yellow?
I will. Once.
Only Albion was paid for? Good talk.
All right.
Okay, should we leave this chat or can we stay here? No problem.
We'll duck
You
out.
stay, we'll leave.
Sorry, can you say it again?
Stay.
Okay.
All right, so we've got the bids. Albion went for 4, Ruspian Engineering and Crimea Agricultural were both free. So this is perhaps as close to a straight up game as we've seen.
Wow. And then they only pay for Albion? Crazy.
I feel like, I mean, Crimea Agricultural is probably the strongest pairing, but It really, at this point, I think it really depends on the player's skill.
Yeah, I kind of feel like Rustfield Engineering and Crimea Agricultural are similar in strength. At least from my perspective, it's really not my favorite board for either faction. Patriotic Albion Patriotic can definitely be a coin factory depending on how it's played.
Yeah.
Who do you like?
Where did this come from?
Smug Skull needs some help getting the Echo tool started.
Not my position. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. Just missed your guys' voices, so I figured I'd hop on. Been 12 hours. What is time?
Okay, Albion Patriotic went for 2. The others went for 0. Wild.
This could be an. It's not super. Played with him quite a bit too.
So we got an initial
Albion.
produce
He
out
sneaks
of
second place, even though he had like 2 heck at the end of the game.
So we've got an initial produce out of Rustfiat and an initial produce out of Crimea.
Be who can build the best engine?
Well, I think Albion has to stall this game, right? He's got to get enough coin and enough points quickly enough that Rustfiat and Crimea can't rush this game, because those are both boards capable of rushing, where I don't really think Albion Patriotic is. Initial turns are going pretty quickly. Derp, you might have said a little bit earlier, and Donna, you can weigh in too. What who do you as the favorite at this point? You may have said, but your audio was cutting out a bit.
Cards.
Can you guys hear
You're
me?
roboting pretty hard. I don't know. What's that phone?
Okay, well,
Yeah, we can't hear what you're saying. Sound like super robot.
all right, I'll be right back. Is that better? Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Hey!
Well, it was crystal clear on my end, guys. The stream heard me just fine.
Okay.
So we got Albion moving to the village now. Gonna take advantage of that that movement over the upgrade action to take it to use the 2 oil he traded for to get his first upgrade. Since he got on metal right away, are we gonna see a mech upgrade here?
Yeah, I wonder what he upgrades. There's merit to doing the enlist as well to get some
Right.
early.
Right, I like the enlist as an initial upgrade for him, but then I wouldn't have moved off the farm quite as quickly, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he did metal. Okay.
So Rustfield elects to go with the speed mech instead of the Riverwalk mech. So he's moving to that tundra spot, and he's going to go for upgrades with this engineering board. So we're looking at some coin for him.
Yeah, one of my favorites to do with this combo is you go to the factory early. So right after you deploy speed, you do a move and then produce and then township, and you can move to the woods next to the factory with
Oh, I
all
see.
your workers. But it's not the best strategy, but it's a fun one.
It gets you out on the board, gives you the option to spread early. That's always nice, especially in a 3-player game where there's a ton of territory to be grabbed. Spread in a 3-player game is obviously even more important than it is in games of larger players because there's just so many more points to be had for each team.
Mhm.
The way he clustered those workers together just then, is that grouping?
No, if you just grab a bunch of objects and then shake them, they group together type.
Ah, good to know.
Oh.
So this is a great opportunity for him to take number 2 and get some food, right? And go ahead and knock out an early enlist. Maybe that power enlist. Rust Engineering has issues with power. He could make himself
Yeah.
power neutral here by paying $2 to get 3 food.
That'd be a pretty good bet to do that, yeah. This is one of the things that bothers me about industrial and engineering is they don't have 3 popularity to take that bottom,
Hmm.
which in some cases would be really good.
He's going to go for the enlist. And he's going to go for the combat card enlist, it looks like, which is another solid option. He knows Crimea is going to, well, he's thinking about it. He knows Crimea is going to enlist. So if he goes combat card early, he's going to get several combat cards doing it. Probably some out of Albion too. But he'd really rather not spend that power on producing, so he's a little torn.
Yeah,
And he
Crimea
should-
already has all the food, so
Alright, so combat card enlisted is.
And he takes 2 additional cards. He's gonna be swimming in cards this game.
Crimea's produced twice and traded for food once. So we're about to see. I mean, I usually trade for metal a little earlier with this agricultural board to try to get that speed mech out to distribute the workers. What do you think about getting this much food on the board before going for a mech?
yeah, typically I wouldn't trade for grain there. I mean, I played this combo in my game.
All right, we got a mod
But,
question here. Smug Skull says he only started with 1 card. I mean, that looks right. He should have 4 cards plus the bluff card.
yeah.
Yes, it should get 2. Maybe Azor needs to know about that one. That's a bit odd.
Oh yeah, there's actually only 39 cards in the deck, so he was missing one.
Whoops. So we're probably going to see an enlist or maybe a trade for metal from Crimea. What did Crimea do last turn?
Produced.
Yeah, he didn't really need to. He could have been. I like to bolster 2 for a card first, while he does that enlist. That first enlist.
Yeah, so
like-
that's one thing you can do with the agricultural board. You can produce once. You could actually trade for 2 food and then immediately bolster and get your enlist. Put you behind a little bit on getting out the workers that you want. And that the fact that he went for the power and not that card early may mean he has some interest in trying to see if he can get the power star with this board.
And you're saying, Dirt, you open differently than this?
I like trading for oil because those 2 you can get 2 upgrades out of it, and it just upgrading that bolster enlist is just money. It's
Should be illegal. Should be a felony. That's what it should be.
Okay, interesting. Looks like Patriotic's trading for oil.
For more oil. He's at 5 coins now.
Probably going to go for a double upgrade on that mech.
Yeah, he could also do 3 workers here and move, but most people don't do that.
We've got a produce action incoming from Rusviet, almost certainly. Yeah, he's already selected it and an upgrade. Let's see what he does first on this upgrade. Kind of interesting to know what he's going to go for.
I like upgrading deploy twice and then also trade. So you can trade deploy for 2 pop.
Trade deploy for 2 pop.
Each time, yeah.
No, I gotcha.
There's the oil.
So you're saying you can get 2 upgrades out of it? Using your combat cards early?
Right, yeah. So, especially with Patriotic next door, you're most likely going to get a crap ton of cards. Throwing away your early ones isn't a big deal.
Right. What are your 2 movements early with Crimea? Because 1 movement spreads your workers out. Where do you wait until you're moving out of your base to use the 2nd upgrade?
That's a good question. I forget what I did in my game.
That's fair enough.
Our game, jerk.
I don't remember what I did actually.
Yeah, it was probably illegal.
Oh, actually, I think I remember now. I moved a worker to the grain in my character route, and I did 1 upgrade. I think I might have upgraded deploy first, actually.
So you just took 2 movements to get to.
Yeah.
So he's doing 2 produces in a row, so he could upgrade his trade action like you were saying here. And next turn trade 2 popularity and get another mech. He is going to upgrade the deploy. He pulled it from either the move or the bolster. No, he upgraded his oh, you get 1 oil extra. Yeah.
Yeah, he upgraded his upgrade first.
Just under 10 years. How many samples? Approximately 30,000.
So what? Crimea moved his character out, but chose to only move him 1 space, and is moving a worker off the village to the farm, despite having his speed mech.
Yeah, okay. I was like,
Yeah.
what the?
Did have that mech.
It was a bit bizarre.
Oh, so he is doing the same thing as you?
I don't
Old
know if
Dirk?
that's what I did. I don't actually remember.
Yeah. Do you know how quick Jeremy's first round game was? Because he won it with like 35 or 32 coins or something.
It was 12 rounds.
Ooh, boy.
Yeah, it was Rusviet Innovative. That's the...
Ooh.
I think that's the only 12 turn board for Rusviet.
Boy, that is quick.
It is. And it can do it even faster than that.
This is an interesting move from Albion here. He's moving.
2 workers. Mm-hmm.
Most likely upgrade, produce, and enlist.
I mean, that number 2 option is pretty attractive there. He's
Yeah,
already going to
like
have 2 upgrades. He's going to get another one off his next move if he takes it. And he's got 2 workers on the farm, which with 2 food, it means his next 2 produces, he can get an enlist for each one without having to move any more workers to the farm.
Yeah, and if I know anything about Mr. Durr, he does love resources off encounters.
I mean, they're the best.
Yeah, and see that early enlist from Rusviet, that would have been like 5 upgrades he missed. 4.
Yeah,
Instead he's
it's a lot of power.
Yeah, instead he's sitting down at 1 power. Trades for 2 more steel. Yeah, early on, I guess, I don't know. In this engine building race, I guess feels even.
I actually like Albion's position now.
What's up, Dan? Welcome to the stream.
Based off of that encounter, is that what's swinging you there, Dur?
I just like the way he's set up right now. Though he didn't upgrade his produce, so I guess he's going to stay at 5. And Rusviet goes township, so that's going to be fun.
Ooh.
Rusviet went township.
It really is
that is interesting.
It really is a different game no matter which factions are in it, because yeah.
And could Rusviet be looking to move out on the board early? Put himself in a position to grab territory while he uses his engine? And Crimea doesn't have a mech yet. We know Albion moves slow. Rusviet goes... I mean, instead of turtling in his own base, if Rusviet moves out and uses some of these territories in the middle of the board, Europa is his oyster.
Yeah, he can. I feel like Rusviet engineering is actually quite a bit faster than agricultural is for Crimea in terms of moving out of the board. So if he claims like the oil tunnel, that could be a pain in the butt for.
Looks like Albion is enlisting. Rusviet's going to get a combat card off of it.
Enlisting the enlist.
Albion needs those combat cards. Arch was 0. And he's planning on doing some more enlistments himself.
I was thinking he was gonna deploy right there, and then I guess he's looking to upgrade his deploy next again for the third one. So then he's got all the steel he needs. Rusviet getting an extra card. 4, 5, 6.
Rusviet's down to 0 power now.
Yeah, it is. I mean, mechless Crimea and slow Albion. I mean,
and that's why I was thinking that Rusviet might take that power enlist, because he'd still be at 3 power if he had.
Yeah.
right. But I mean, he doesn't. I don't think he has much to worry about yet, at least.
Well, it's not so much that he's going to be attacked, as how does he keep producing?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe he doesn't need to. He can,
Yeah, I don't know.
he has enough metal to trade twice and get his mechs without having to trade for metal. So that will get him the next 2 enlists. But if I'm right, he's still 2 food short of getting his enlists.
See, that was so many upgrades. He'd be fine on power right now. He'd be sitting at 5 power right now. Instead, he's gonna be sitting on 150 combat cards.
Which you don't mind so much with Rustfiat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the strategy there is, with your neighbors, they're probably going to be getting their enlist stars. You're most likely going to get enough cards even if you don't enlist that recruit first.
Exactly.
No, I agree. I probably would have gone power enlist with the engineering board first as well.
Jeremy asking if he took coins already. I have no idea.
Yeah, I wasn't watching.
I did.
He,
They told me.
Yeah, Crimea getting close to that power star already.
Why was going for those power bolsters early.
No, it looks like he will put out that mech before upgrading the mechs.
Yeah, he probably wants to be able to move to the other encounter before he upgrades it.
It must have really felt like he was going to need the combat cards off of Crimea's enlist, because he could have gone for the coin enlist this last turn and gotten himself an extra coin off this mech. But I guess he wanted the extra card off a potential enlist from Crimea and an extra card off his next enlist.
I don't know. Are there gonna be? Is there that big of a need in cards this game? Because I feel like each of these factions stays to themselves until the end of the game.
It depends on how they play it. You saw how I did it. I was all over the board.
I mean, they're probably going to want those 2 combats, right? Albion Patriotic may not need 2 combats, but I think with Recipe and Engineering, you're definitely going to want those 2 combats.
Yeah, for sure.
And especially low power, the more cards you have, the better chance you get good ones. And you're going to need good ones with Crimea playing that agricultural board and basically swimming in power. Yeah, like we thought, he's trading for food. I'm going to turn the metal in for his mech. But next turn, he can only trade for 1 food. He has to trade for another metal. So that's only it's only 1 enlist actually. Still 3 food short of his last enlist.
And he can't. Maybe he's just praying on a good factory card or encounter.
I mean, he may have to bolster. How's it going tonight, Pool of Clay?
I wonder if he might just go to the factory next turn. Crimea getting speed.
Round 9 seems late for the first mech out of Crimea.
Yeah, I feel like you can actually get away with only 2 mechs with Crimea Agricultural.
Yeah, you just go speed and Riverwalk.
Mm-hmm.
How many moves was that?
It was 3.
Was that 3 moves? Okay.
Yeah.
That third
Can you
one
guys-
is pay 2 popularity to gain 1 upgrade and 2 food.
I like that option normally, but I feel like it's kind of this doesn't do very much for him right now.
Let's see, he has 1 food on the board, but he has 3 workers on his food. So he doesn't really need any more food.
He's just going for that power. You could probably get a power star actually with that.
And the combat cards, he wants the combat cards.
Mm-hmm.
See, look, another upgrade Rusvia could have had. I don't know. See if it picked out.
Yeah, it's 6 power now.
We're just beating up Rusviet for that enlist choice earlier, aren't we?
Man, I swear, a lot of my games when I lose, I'm like, it's because I chose the wrong enlist. So hard, so tricky. But maybe these combat cards work out. I don't know.
I like that's one of the reasons I like doing 3 worker strategies with engineering. If he had 3 workers and upgraded or enlisted the upgrade recruit, he would be at 9 power.
Okay, here we got a move coming. We're gonna find
Yeah,
out what Rusviet is planning here.
That's that next level thinking there by the creator himself, aka Mr. Durr, ladies and gentlemen. Take the factory. Okay.
And we got one more move.
He's
Oh, I
just
thought he was
loading
gonna.
up
I
on
thought he was gonna
factory.
move a mech and these 3 workers to the village. But I guess he wants that factory.
Oh, maybe he's just gonna do the bottom row upgrade so then he has enough food? Is that possible? No, I still need one more.
No. What if he could? If he had any power, he could have moved those 3 workers to that village, reduced again for the worker star, gotten the 3rd medal, and then traded for 2 food one more time, and deployed with the 3 medal. But he's got something else in mind.
Looks like oh, he was choosing his factory card. Let's see which one he gets.
Oh, the factory card bails him out in a major way.
Yeah, that's pretty good for him.
Yeah, wow. Clutch. He's gonna have this influx of cards. Looks like it could work out.
I mean, yeah, he
That enlist,
look at
that combat card enlist.
that enlist
There
was
you go.
clutch, right?
Yeah, how the tables have turned.
That's what we said, that enlist was clutch, and he
Yeah.
made the right call. We said that
Yeah.
from the
He
beginning.
knew.
How smug of that skull. Wow. Incredible stuff.
Oh, he's doing coins first. That's interesting.
Does not want. Oh, he wants coins. Yeah, instead of power when he's at 0. Wow.
Well, he's not going to produce anymore.
Guess so.
He has all the metal he needs. I mean, he needs to produce once if he's going to get the worker star, but he's got time to get it.
Yeah, and I guess most people are probably done upgrading.
Fun fact:
Here we go.
factory cards. The most common cost is a combat card.
That is a fact. It is arguably fun.
I had fun learning that fact.
I'm with you.
The infinite knowledge of the creator.
Is that true both with and without the promo cards?
Oh,
What I would
don't
like to know.
Yeah, see, those of you following the stream, we take tips. It's fine. Our Venmos, it's cool.
It's funny. I actually forget which cards are promo. It's been so long.
I do not own them in real life. I've been meaning to get them. I think most of the ones where you turn in 2 unlike resources for bottom row action, I believe those are promo cards because I don't feel like I see those in real life. I do know that this combat card one that Rusviet took is not a promo card.
Right,
There's
yeah.
that
See,
in real
those
life.
those are less fun facts.
I think the first 13 are all base. And then there's like 5 promos or something like that.
For me is moving. Looks like he turned in both oil and elected to keep his combat cards, that upgrade. And he upgraded his
Just got more.
bolster into his deploy. Where's this? Here's the encounter card.
It's to the right of his math.
We went with option 1, 2 oil and a popularity.
Oh wow, there you go. Gets a second upgrade, so he's now got 3 movements, huh?
Did he already have the upgrade at the start of this turn?
Yes. This would be his second.
Okay.
Wow. Also, look at the disparity on power track. 0, 7, and 13.
Well, that does give Ruspiet a power.
There you go, Russ.
He can do his last produce. So if I'm Crimea here, I'm thinking about upgrading the enlist instead of the deploy, because I'm looking at that 13 power, and if I can bolster into my enlist, I get the power star. If I have to produce for more food before doing it, I potentially miss out. Now there's a good chance my neighbors are gonna that Albion's gonna upgrade again, and I'm gonna upgrade again, so maybe I'm not worried about it. But if I upgrade that enlist, I'm guaranteed the power star.
Yeah, he was thinking about it. He was switching the cube back and forth.
I guess he does have 2 enlists left, so the chances that he's going to get the power star is almost certain at this point anyway. But we're going to see
Patriotic
Russ use
roller.
that brand new factory card, right?
I wonder.
Get some, yep, there it is. Thought I saw him move a combat card. Get some food. Would you guys go for an encounter here, or would you go ahead and move those workers to the village? Ready yourself for a worker star, because the earlier you can get the worker star, the more of these moves, factory and regular moves, you can use to start spreading out in this game.
Yeah, I think it would depend on what my objective is.
It's interesting. He's going for more oil.
I feel like that might be an objective focused move. Maybe wolf among the sheep.
But he could have just as easily gone for food for wolf.
It's true.
I mean, maybe he wants that upgrade star. He's still 3 away. But I'm surprised he didn't go for the food and set himself up to use his regular move action.
He's just yoinking.
He's going to grab that village encounter. Does sit up here. He doesn't need the medal. He could pay 2 popularity to enlist a recruit. Gain $2 in a popularity.
I'll probably go for the first option because there's a good chance that he's gonna have to get into tier 2.
Do you think he has a path to tier 2, the way this game is going?
If he grabs maybe 2 more encounters, maybe.
Okay, he's going to take option 3, so he's not interested in the tier 2. He wants to get those lists out. So he bought himself a bottom row action there. Kind of makes up for the fact that he didn't go for food, although he still going to have another enlist, so food would come in handy, no question. Now he's going to go and get that power, bump himself up to 3.
I think his move now is to just plop all of his stuff on Crimea's tunnel tundra. Make him lose that pot.
Mia is sitting at 5, and he has not yet had his enlist bonus. Crimea can get tier 2 without any trouble, really. Question is, can he keep it after 2 combats? Rusviet took that encounter that next to Crimea's home base. So, I mean, in the 3-player game, there are plenty of encounters out there. Crimea's just going to have to be a little bit creative if he wants to get any more. We're looking at a trade deploy out of Crimea. You trade for maybe a metal and a food here, use a card, set himself up for an enlist.
I'm not sure if he drew a card from Albion's enlist, actually.
Guess he's just going to trade straight metal.
I think he might have pretty good combat cards in his hand right now.
Sometimes you got to spin those good cards to keep your economy going. It hurts, but
Yeah.
sometimes you got to do it. I mean, he doesn't need to produce again. If he trades, he's willing to spend the combat card,
Right.
a couple combat cards, he can trade into his food while getting his mechs. And he doesn't have to produce. If he produces once, he's going to have to pick up another encounter to get that tier 2. So let's check in on the coin here. Got 8 coin for Albion. Ramia's sitting on 9. And Rusviet with that engineering board has 11. So the coin difference is pretty similar. Rusviet's currently ahead, obviously, with the territory advantage with the factory. But that's not necessarily an advantage that he's going to hold throughout the game. Who do you think is quote unquote winning or has the best path to victory right now?
I think Rusviet does, actually. That enlist was actually pretty smart because he got 2 coins immediately from both of their deploys, and he's going to deploy right now, probably, I would guess. He's 1 off of enlist and deploy start.
Did he get a coin off of Albion's deploy?
I don't think he did.
I checked his coin just a second ago and he had 11.
Yeah.
No, he didn't get it. Okay. So I don't know how I feel about this naked mech on this village here with no workers. I mean, it's vulnerable to attack, and I'm not sure what purpose it's serving there, really. I mean, maybe he has population advantage and he wants it this turn.
Yeah, it seems like that would be the case.
It's got to be it. Well, Okay, he just wants to fortify that spot since he doesn't have People's Army yet.
Yeah. Nifty little township move. I
Did he
like it.
mean to leave the worker on the tundra? Because he started to move it and then it kind of dropped. Should we clarify which space it's on?
Yeah, I'll ask.
Okay,
Yeah.
on the tundra.
Well, you know, he could actually get tier 2 right now if he wanted to. Because trade for 2 pop, deploy, and then move and list is puts him at set.
Where's this? Oh, I see it. Sun, there's going to be another digital edition tournament, is the plan. But TTS is a really good format for a tournament because it doesn't have bugs or glitches since
Yeah.
you're just playing with pieces. Option 1, not getting the wood. But he just elected for the 1 free popularity instead of paying $2 for 3 of them. I mean, I don't know about Rustfiat taking these move actions without getting his food first. Burning up
Yeah.
turns where he's not working on a star. He's got that produce.
Yeah.
So he's going to have to do something else to get to tier 2, if that's his plan. We haven't talked about Albion much. What do you think about Albion's strategy here?
He's gonna be. I think the 3 upgrades slowed him down a little. I don't know if he really needed that final mech upgrade, but he should be getting. He'll get a ton of coins shortly. So
He already has 11, so he's already keeping pace with Rustfiat's coin and with Crimea's coin. He's actually about 3 coins ahead of Crimea.
And I wouldn't be surprised if we see a combat on his character's territory.
I mean, this feels like it's anybody's game right now. Developing kind of slowly. We're
Yeah,
in
it's quite close.
we're in round 12. And the only star we've seen so far is a worker star from Crimea. Till Albion's turn.
I'll probably give Crimea the edge just because they're going to have the most power.
Might be easier for them to snag those combats. Reduce enlist from Crimea. See if Rustfiat grabs the coin. Rustfiat did not grab the coin. Oh yeah, it wasn't a deploy, it was an enlist. Pfeiffer, this seems like an odd game to me. 3 pop for $2 always seems so cheap. Yeah, Rustfiat doesn't seem interested in getting to tier 2. But maybe he is going for that upgrade star. So he's producing, right?
Okay. Might do a bolster build just to get that power.
Did Rustviet actually produce resources?
I think he just did the bottom row.
He didn't produce. Interesting.
I mean, you're missing out on the opportunity to work, at least work toward that worker star.
No.
Oh, there's a power star from Kamea.
Yeah, Pfeiffer, the bidding was a bit odd. It's the closest we've had to a straight up game in this tournament yet. The only actual bid being 2 coins from Albion. Well, at the time I didn't want it. Talking about that wood. Yeah, he typed in chat that he wasn't going to get the wood.
Oh, I missed it.
Ooh, does Crimea have that power star yet?
Yeah, he just
He
got it.
does. This is a golden opportunity, I think, for him to get one of his combats against Albion, right?
Yep. Albion giving out combat stars.
Albion doesn't have that shield mech. Of course, he's got plenty of power, but Crimea can afford to throw down a full 7 and simultaneously start working on moving out of his base.
Yeah, this is a double risky move because when Rustviet deploys his Riverwalk, he can move on to Albion's village.
Thanks for the follow, Pfeiffer.
Quite a bit of upgrading this game.
I think at this point, Rustviet's definitely going for the power star. Suni Eisenhower, thank you for the follow.
If Albion's able to deploy shield before he gets attacked, he'll get a power star at the start of the combat.
Because of the 3 power off the deploy, plus the 2 off shield.
Yeah.
I mean, we're in round 14 and we've got 2 stars on the board. Rustviet gets People's Army. How's the coin going? Crimea's at 11. Rustviet's up to 14. Albion is at 15. And Albion's sitting on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 territories with those flags. So Albion has a essentially has the same number of territories as Rustviet.
I was gonna. Is Crimea gonna catch him before he gets over that encounter? Doesn't look like it.
Ooh, looks like somebody might be trying to make a human shield.
Yeah, that's got to be Human Shield, right?
Nothing like using humans as a shield, guys.
Said the war criminal. I mean, you got to hit Albion here, right, from that farm.
Yeah, I would feel like you do.
Yeah, dap him up real quick. Throw 2-piece.
I think he's nervous about leaving that metal behind, but it's not actually at risk of being taken by anybody.
He has an upgraded move action, but it doesn't look like he's going to do it. Unless he's planning on moving his character up.
Oh,
There
there you
it
go.
is.
Oh my god, wow.
There it
Just
is.
thought it's not gonna be a fight. No shield mech. No power.
No scout.
No scout. Good old fashioned one-on-one combat here, boys.
All right.
Interestingly, this leaves him open to a counterattack by Rusty.
Maybe that's why he brought his character. So if he does get counterattacked, he doesn't get workers bumped back home.
Right.
It's not a disincentive to a tier 1 Rustviet to stack that spot up with workers. I feel like Crimea is still in 3rd place, but their ability to start adding coin here from territories and stars is higher than the other two factions at this point.
They could actually end the game in 2 turns, I think, after this one.
So we got 8 from Crimea. We have 1 and a... Is that a 5 combat card played by Albion?
Just throwing down a 5.
And 1 power, I think.
Interesting.
He must be just swimming in 5s. Didn't want to give away a super free fight, you know?
I mean...
Oh, and he's spending another 1 to upgrade. What's funny is that the scout ability would actually be really good against Crimea.
Yeah.
It's true. Two turns, you said 1 for the enlist, basically.
Oh, maybe he didn't have... oh, he did have the objective. I didn't see him pull it out.
Okay. So
Yeah,
it's not 2
basically,
turns then.
Enlist and then another combat if he wants to do it that way.
Okay, 2 turns from now. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're Rustviet, do you steal that food?
Oh, yeah.
Crimea
you
just
guys
has the
do.
1 upgrade on the enlist.
Yeah, absolutely do that.
You can stall the game.
You could probably win a combat against him too at the same time.
Because you've got the 3 move actions. So 1 to the, probably the mountain tunnel, 1 to the tundra, and then 1 to take that food. And then immediately you can spin the food. Of course, Crimea, you'd have to make sure you spin the food on your own tundra, or Crimea might turn around and take that one.
Yeah. And Albion is 1 power off of the star.
Heartbreak.
Man, if he'd gone shield instead of burrow, he'd be sitting on the power star right now.
Alright, looks
So
like
that's 1 move out of
Rustviet.
Rustviet. Let's see if he sees it.
I mean, that's the advantage of having no pop.
Gonna leave the factory for the attack instead of going from the tunnel.
Interesting. So I wouldn't be surprised if Crimea just gets tier 2 by trading deploying. Because he's already leading in stars. He doesn't really need to rush the end of the game.
Cremia's got a lot of metal there. Maybe he's planning on building some more mechs. You think Russ sees it?
Looks like a maybe.
It's a definite maybe.
It's a waiting game right now. We won't know. Can you guys hear what they're saying on the stream?
No, no, they just hear us.
Okay. Sounds like there's some debate as to what Rusfield should do here. It looks like it, I guess.
I wonder if he's thinking about an objective.
Over the tunnels. Thought about bumping that worker. You're Rusty, you play 2 cards here.
Yeah, for sure.
Don't really need to bluff the cards you're playing.
Question is if I mean he basically has to win this or else he's giving the game to Crimea. So
Right.
I don't know if he would actually bluff this at all, which means he's probably just gonna spend 2 or 3 powers.
He's got to use good cards, and he's got to. I mean, maybe that's why he's clustering his pieces together so aggressively, as he knows he can't give Crimea another combat, and he's trying to cut Crimea off from Albion as well. And then don't you move? I mean, Crimea couldn't reach that character on that mountain. Don't you maybe put 2 mechs on the mountain and 2 mechs on the village, each with workers?
Right. He didn't
Rusty
actually
went.
use. Oh, he did use his 3rd move. He moved his character.
Looked like 10.
What was his other move? Off the factory, character to the tunnel, and what's the other one?
He took 2 workers off his home base mountain to the village.
Oh, okay. Strange.
So he's looking at a worker star next turn, I guess.
Yeah.
If I were Crimea, I would have went all out against that. Because you can bolster back the power if you need it.
Exactly. Oh wait, what did they go?
Looked like Crimea went 8.
And Rusfield went
10, I think.
Yeah, strange.
Oh, oh, he can't. 2 more stars.
Crimea wanted to card. Or no, he's trading and deploying. Crimea's going for that mech star.
And did he take 2 hearts?
No, he.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, there he goes.
Yes.
That scout is actually pretty powerful right now too.
Especially for him, he's got no cards.
He could be going for the mech star. He could also just think he needs scout to win a combat. He's only sitting on 2 combat cards, so he doesn't. He has the ability to attack with 3 units, but he doesn't have 3 cards unless he gets scout. I think that was probably a good play on his part. Albion's got a menacing stack of coin over there at 19.
Looks like he's
Crimea's
getting his last
13.
enlist and his worker star right now.
I mean, Crimea has 1, 2, 3, 4 territories. The Rusfiat's 3, and Albion's 5. I mean, I think Crimea can be comfortable ending the game just as soon as possible. I mean,
Yeah,
I think this next turn you enlist, and then you move to the factory while, if you've got the cards to do it, you move to the factory while attacking Rustviet on that mountain, then it's good game.
That gives Crimea another card too, which is pretty big.
Yeah, Jeremy, feeling like Jeremy and Crimea, pretty healthy lead on that second tier.
I might bet that Crimea doesn't actually have a 5 right now. Because of that 5 we saw from Albion.
Rail, the first player to go, the Sonos here, Logan, he went with Albion. Someone for 0, someone bid him up to 1, and he took it for 2, and then everyone passed. I think Jeremy went for 0 for Crimea Agriculture. Smug Skull passed and took Rustviet. So we had red and yellow go for nothing in this game. I mean, it might have been smart to try to, I mean, you take a gamble, but you might want to try to bid Crimea Agriculture up just a little bit, right? So you have a coin advantage with Rustviet in that case. Rustviet pulls out his 4-star. What did he get? He got that up. Did he get the upgrade star?
No, he's 1 off.
Is
It's a 6, not a 5.
ooh.
Rail, we got Crimea in tier 2, and the other faction's not really looking like they're going to be in tier 2. Crimea is 1 enlist away from the enlist star and a combat away from ending the game after that.
Smug Skull is definitely recalculating right now.
Is he thinking that maybe he never moved a cube once or something?
No, I don't think so. I'm pretty sure it's correct the way it is.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Crimea wants to get that enlist and then start spreading out, not necessarily in that order, because if they're not careful, Rustviet just has the 1 oil, right?
Yeah, so Rustviet has the potential to end the game on his turn with moving in an objective and in combat. So I think maybe Jeremy's worried about that.
So do you move here if you're Crimea? Try to spread out, take enough territory that Rustviet can't end the game and win?
Yeah, it's definitely the saber play.
He's gonna go with the bolster though and get that enlist star.
You also just make it annoying for Rustviet and that they can't get enough territories. You can kind of just get in his way.
If he moved first, or you're saying?
Yeah.
So this is Rustviet's
Right.
round here. We got to see probably take the factory, spread out, hit Albion, and get an objective,
no.
right?
Because
Yeah,
now
that is the big if. I think if Albion attacks here though, that'll throw a wrench. You could just load up on that tunnel with all of his mechs.
Yeah, and he will.
So what's Albion's power situation? Albion's got the power star, and he's got cards galore. You think Rustviet can't win this fight?
Right.
Well, Rustviet's chance of getting a combat anywhere just went way down. Crimea's clustered together. Rustviet's window for winning this game may have just closed.
If he has really strong cards, he could get a 4 combat card combat on that.
I mean, I think you can obviously get a combat star this next turn if you're Rustviet, but you have to hit with so many units that you aren't going to get much spread.
Right.
I mean, you can pick up 5 territories total, I think. One next to the factory, and then the mountain tunnel, hitting it with 2 mechs and a worker. You've got the cards.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised Jeremy didn't move and then inland.
It looks like Albion's only attacking with 2 units.
Right.
It's just not. Oh, he used his 3rd move to spread.
Rail, could he possibly beat Crimea? Well, we were theorizing that Rusviet could pick up an objective star and a combat star this turn while spreading, which would probably put him there. But with Albion attacking Rusviet, it's going to be hard to pull that off. What do we got here? Rusviet went 3 plus 2 is 5.
Albion with 14, 7, and 7.
Oh, so the move for Rusted here, I think, is to. Oh, I don't know. This is tricky for him. He could end the game here by throwing a combat to Crimea, but I feel like that's probably not going to win him the game.
That's a play for second at best, right? Spread and give
Yeah.
Crimea the win. I mean, you're looking at that 23 stack of coin for Albion now, and Albion's sitting on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 territories. And Rusviet with 2.
8 territories.
He could take away
8 territories? Oh, I didn't see the mountain.
Huh.
Will Jeremy get us? Will Crimea get another turn here? I don't know.
I mean, Rusviet's got to move here and spread, I think.
Yeah, Russia's definitely moving. Got to.
Oh, you know what's interesting though is if Crimea does end it with a combat, he's going to drop out of tier 2.
Yeah, depending on Rusviet's spread here.
Well, Crimea could also just move and then wait, I guess, to deploy for his last star.
Right.
Looks like Rusviet knows that Crimea can't take a 2-pop hit. And he knows he can't reach that forest there.
Well, he gave him a combat for 1 pop over here. Oh wait, he can't reach that. Interesting move.
Now he's going to bring another one over there just to be safe. I'm not sure that was the right play though, because now Crimea could hit this tunnel with all 3 units.
Mm-hmm. He will have 4 cards to play. But
he's got the
that would
power.
be
He's got a
interesting.
significant power advantage.
Or does Crimea just take the factory and then trade deploy for 2 hearts next turn? Or is that too much time?
I mean, that would work unless Rusviet ends it. That's, you expose yourself there potentially. Depending on Russ's objective, if he takes the factory back from you as the combat.
If I were Crimea, I would just YOLO Rusviet on the tunnel probably.
Problem is,
With
you can
2.
only pick up 2 territories while doing that. It might be enough.
Yeah, I mean he's got. He actually, the only person with more territories would be. Well, I guess they both have quite a few more.
If you're Crimea here, I thought Crimea was. This Crimea only has 4 stars, so he needs a combat and the mech star, right?
No, he's got 5. The power.
Oh, I didn't see the
stars.
power star there. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, you hit Rustviet on that tunnel. If you can win it,
Hope for
there's
the
a good
best.
chance you win the game. You think he's doing the math right now?
It really depends on what cards Crimea has. You know, a lot of those are recent draws that are not cards that he's been holding the entire game, so I wouldn't be surprised if a bunch of them were twos.
So if he wins this fight, he's got 6 territories. With tier 2, that's the equivalent to everybody else's 9. Rustviet's sitting on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 territories. So Crimea has essentially a 6 coin advantage off territories on Rustviet. If we look at the coin, Crimea has 17 to Rustviet's 19, so that's a 4 coin advantage after you account for the coin. Crimea has gonna get 4 coin off resources. I
Yeah,
think
I was
if he
thinking-
attacks Rustviet, I think he wins this game.
I think what his best bet is just to run away and trade deploy next turn.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Take more territories and then take 2 more hearts next turn.
I'm not sure where he can run exactly though.
Oh, he just ran out to that wood over there.
Yeah, I mean, he leaves himself open to giving Rustviet a combat doing this.
Right. I feel like Rustic can always reach him no matter where he goes though, so maybe that doesn't work. If he had Wayfarer, he could.
But with this particular move, Rustviet can drop a worker on that tundra tunnel, hit that farm tunnel with his mech,
Yeah.
and then take a mech and a worker across and hit that that wood spot, and then pick up for the third move, put a worker on that village and the mech on the mountain. That would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 territories and a combat star. Rustviet has a doable objective. He could pick up a whole lot of coin next turn.
Looks like he's recalculating.
Jeremy's stressing right now.
Eh. His mainframe is going through it. Recalculating.
Recalculating.
Yeah, I don't know what he should do here. I'm not that afraid of Rustviet though. He's first tier.
Oh, what? He's doing your thought. I wonder if
But now you drop yourself out of tier 2 for 1 turn and you give Rustviet the chance to
Right.
turn around and retake that factory.
You know, I think Korea is betting on the fact that Rusted doesn't have a doable objective because I think that's a pretty safe bet.
Yeah. I agree with you there. Sure.
The only thing is, here's the thing: there's a bit of a tell by what Jeremy did. It shows that he doesn't have very strong of cards.
Right.
So Rusted's probably just gonna house him on the factory.
I mean, you have to attack the factory if you're Rustviet. You don't have a choice. Look at Albion up there with 5 stars.
Nice, I like it. You know, he might sneak this. 26 coins. It's probably not enough.
Albion's so sneaky, man, I swear. But if he was second tier, he'd be. I agree, he'd be all the way in
Yeah,
it.
he'd be golden.
Unless it ends right now. If Rustviet ends it right now, then maybe. Because they're all first tier.
How funny would it be if Albion pulled out like a Foundations of the right there?
Yeah.
And ended himself. That would have been crazy.
And Crimea ends this game right here. So if you're Rustviet, you've got to either attack Crimea on the factory or just spread out and play for second.
Yeah, maybe it's just better to take off both of Crimea's tunnels while taking an extra territory. Drop a worker on the wood, take that tunnel. Drop a worker on the other tunnel and take. And plus, Smug Skull. I mean, he's in no matter what. He already has 3 points. Worst case is third place, which puts him at 5. I think 5 is good to get into the next round.
Yeah, I think that I think 5 is good to get into the next round, but you want to set yourself up as much as possible because 5 might not be enough to get to semi. 10 might not be enough to get to semis.
I think there's only 1 5 played, right? By Albion.
I think that's right. Yeah, I would have thought he'd left a worker on that village tunnel and then bring the mech from that forest spot with a worker.
Oh wow, bring in the pain.
Just put him in the lake, man. It's all right. We know where they really are.
Man, Albion. I'm not thinking Albion's going to be last place here.
So what's a possible objective here?
Oh yeah.
Get rich or cry trying, and he's been sitting on it, maybe?
Possibly.
I mean, what else could it be?
Yeah, I think that might be it.
Rail's pointing out that he only just reached 20 coin with Albion's deploy. So if he has it, he might not have been sitting on it. He might have been waiting. I thought Rustviet had more coin than that, but he may just have hit 20.
I think Albion might beat him still. Even if he ends the game here.
Right, if everybody's first tier, I don't.
The way he moved, he didn't leave workers on the village here.
6 territories for Rustviet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 territories for Crimea if it ends here. 8 for Albion, so a 2 territory advantage. Plus a 6 coin advantage. 5 stars. Yeah, I think it goes, the game ends here. I think it goes Rustviet, Albion, Crimea, or Albion, Rustviet, Crimea in that order.
Oh, so Germany had 2 5s. He's at 17. And then Rustviet's at not enough. 14.
Wow.
Oh wow.
Is that game?
Yeah, that's game.
Oof.
What did Crimea steal? I didn't see.
Rustviet must not have had been able to throw an objective because he saved himself 3 power. He could have won the fight.
He, even after all those combat cards, he still didn't have anything better than.
Are you sure he did? I think he spent those 3. I think his wheel is at 3.
Yeah, it looks like it was at 3.
Yeah, he spent the.
I guess we can hop over now, huh?
All right.
Hey.
Hey.
Good old factory combat to end it.
Man, Dos Unos with Albion gonna be sneaky here. I think.
We'll see.
What were your objectives, Russ?
20 coins,
Oh,
which I would have done in this last turn after the fight if I had won it.
Oh, right.
Oh.
The
dang.
oh, God.
oh.
And the other one was 7 power, kick a worker away.
Heartbreak.
Oh, so close.
Yeah, I'm crying inside here. Not, but not on the outside, you know.
Oh.
Yeah, I think that's it. Can someone check for me? Just confirming.
I don't remember if I spent my metal when I deployed my mech.
I think you had one left.
I thought you. Oh, I don't know.
Or you had one left when it was on the grain, I remember.
Okay, then I should have spent that, so I only had one resource.
Looks good to me, Smug Skull.
Okay. 5 stars, 1, 2, 5 coins, 26.
Oh shoot, sorry.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Wrong.
7, 8. Okay. I think
Oh,
that's
you
right.
are in tier 1, I forgot.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Wait, there's
No!
been
Oh, wow.
Alvin paid 2, remember?
Oh, dang.
Oh. Nice.
Wow.
Good
Dang.
game.
I guess I really hope that I actually did spin the metal. I think I did.
Dang.
We can watch the VOD to make sure, but I'm pretty sure what did you produce on when you produced your workers? You didn't have a worker on metal yet. You moved this guy on your last movement, your metal work.
Yeah. I don't think I had him there when I produced. No.
Yeah. So holy crap. So Jeremy wins by the bid. That was such a risky move, getting the popularity on the factory, or going down.
I didn't expect it to end. I was like, oh, I'll just trade deploy next turn. But yeah, I guess you never know with Rustby not having a counter. I mean, an objective.
What did I bid? Did I bid 2? Was that my bid?
Mm-hmm.
Dang! Wow.
Close game.
Yeah, it was.
Nice game, guys.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. The video on demand will be up, and we'll see you next time.
All right.
See you.